Yo, what's up guys? It's Lost with a much more different video. Today's video just gonna be talking about my personal opinion on the situation we have in Wizard101 right now, because I feel like there's a lot of people out there who are really negative and pessimistic on the outlook of what could come as a result of the addition of the Roshambo spells and the recent PvP changes. But I kind of wanted to come back and give you guys some positive feedback, kind of like, put my optimistic look out there, because I do feel like people do sometimes call me blindly optimistic about some of this kind of stuff, but I genuinely, wholeheartedly believe that the Roshambo changes were some of the best changes we've had in a long time, I feel like, while it isn't the correct, some of the additions and some of the spells and whatever are like, unbalanced, and some things are better than others, but the truth is that we haven't seen this much diversity in strategies and potential, new ideas and playstyles in a really long time. It's been so long since we saw strategies like, trap stack actually work. Strategies, while most people do disagree with and don't like, actually come out of it in one singular update. We haven't seen this happen in so long. And I just want to remind you guys as well, with the Jade issue, that we had, a bunch of people begging to get rid of Diego. Diego's too OP, he just, a bunch of people like asking to get rid of Diego because they thought that it was just not a good spot for the game to be in, having a random donkey decide how you win or lose. I think now that we have that removed, and now that we have a very clear few months to look at in terms of data and how we can change the game around, and also the fact that the Jade issue is easy to solve, because let's be real here, right? We all know how to solve the Jade issue, and that's an entirely different video topic. But I think the clear thing to me now is the fact that, well, honestly, I think that Rochambeau's in its current state could easily create for an extremely fun and interesting 5th age in the right balancing spot, because we've moved a lot more away from RNG. Pet casts are gone, there's not really much pet casts that are common except for Brace and Incendiate. We don't really have that on the table. We have more people, doing more interesting things, while some of them being PvE, but a lot of the reason why PvE is in such a big swing right now is because of Myth and the fact that it can trap stack so effectively. But again, these are all things that are simple to fix. We don't have complex issues that require complete dismantling of a school to change, because back then we used to have, these schools and these like ideas and like strategies that were entirely broken, and there was no way to solve them except creating such a big proposition of changes. Like, for example, having a entirely spell audit every single spell in the game, which, by the way, was, honestly, less than a year ago, right? And not only are we getting all of these spells changed within a year, but also in that same year, we're seeing a ridiculous amount of new spells come into the game, new strategies coming into the game, more, consistency in the fact that there's, a lot less RNG. And I do think that the more we iron out the kinks of this game, and the more that we add more stuff as well, to make it more interesting, I genuinely think we're in a great position, for 5th age. Of course, there'll have to be some moderation, some changes. We have to still iron out bugs and stuff, and try to figure out how to work this out. But I think overall, Rochambeau spells have been a great addition for the game. And I'll pull up an example as to why, right? So, I think, if you guys don't remember, right, in about 2020, 2021, deck setups were extremely boring, right? Like, throughout the entire process of that, I remember, this is what decks used to look like. We'd put in, 4 set shields that are volcanic. We put in, like, a few legend shields. We put in, even some glacial shields. We'd have, like, literally almost 10, 15 set shields as our way to spice up the game. On top of that, 10 bubbles. The game was, for a card game, we were seeing almost no diversity in anybody's strategies, But now the fact that there is Roshambo means that there's people that are going to be playing regular, they're going to be playing PvE and trying to play quick. A more defensive strategy, let's say healing or shielding or whatever, which of course, you know, will be less common because not many people enjoy playing like that. And so what will come out of this is a diversity of schools and a diversity of strategies and mindsets and play styles that will change the game entirely. And I just want to remind you guys the fact that while there is things that are OP right now, like Jading and Myth Trap Stack, and I mean even Fire, like regular Fire is really good, there will ultimately be changes, you know? We've seen so many things be changed over the course of the matter of like, what, year and a half? We've never seen this many PvP changes come so quick, and I think as a community, if we agree and work together to find common conclusions and work together to fix problems we've dealt with for so long, I believe that we can, you know, see a future where there's more, like, strategies that aren't just one shot and strategies that aren't just committing to one, you know, thing. Now, this does not mean that I have no issues, you know, just to address the counterclaims you guys might have. This does not mean I have no issue with Roshambo. Is Roshambo a little bit ridiculous and unorthodox at times? Yeah, 100%. Is it really buggy at times? Yeah, I would 100% agree with that. Both of those are extremely true, and it's created a big problem. But that's why we have all this time before 5th Age to fix those bugs and avoid those exploits and get them out of the game before our rank actually genuinely matters again. Because you guys have to understand, right? The 16 has lost all of its value. Ever since Doring was a thing, and ever since, you know, the game was in such an unbalanced state, rank meant nothing anymore, you know? And I'm sure that during 5th Age, and whenever we get a chance to finally see a refreshing look of rank and what it means, you know, to be Warlord or whatever rank you are, you know, we'll see an actual interest in people playing the game again, because people will be playing competitively and using strategies that actually, you know, while they may work, will actually be more unique and we'll see different things like arise. So I think right now the best thing we can do is just be optimistic on our outlook and, you know, try the best to band together and actually find common problems and nitpicks with the game that aren't biased and aren't, you know, in a negative direction. Because I think we've gotten too accustomed to complaining about the game, and instead of complaining, we should criticize. So I'm just gonna leave you guys on that. I personally think Roshambo, in its current state, I really would like to hear you guys discuss what you think is too good about Roshambo, like what's too OP and what's bad, and just overall your opinions. You know, let me know what your opinions are in the comments. Have discussions, talk in the comments. Let this be like a kind of like a forum for you guys to discuss how you feel about the Roshambo spells in their current state in the game, because I believe, in my personal opinion, that it has a good place in the game. It could lead to a really unique, you know, change in the pace of the game, and could also lead to just a lot more strategies coming out, you know, because we haven't seen some spells coming out of, like, some of these spells that have come out, you know, in people's decks recently, you know, just have never been seen in years. Like, think about it, right? We haven't seen Headless Horseman be used in years, but some of the top deaths are using it. We haven't seen, like, you know, other different spells that are very unique. Like, I've seen people using Sun Serpent. I've seen people using like the most unexpected spells. Hydra has come back and cycle again for balance, you know, because they can't use Mana Burn anymore. So I just think, like, overall, because of these changes, I think we've been able to see a lot more of a diverse game, and that's ultimately what we wanted, right? You know, because everybody's going to hate certain metas. Some people are going to hate the PvE meta. Some people are going to hate the Life or Jade meta. Some people are going to hate the offensive and one-shot, you know, Fire, Storm, Myth meta. But ultimately, you have to understand the fact that, you know, metas are going to be metas. Like, shit's going to be OP and shit's going to be annoying. But that's ultimately happens whenever a card game is in its current state, you know? Is that whenever something is not being changed consistently and constantly about a card game, people settle and people pick the best options and the best solutions to some, you know, strategy. And that's just how it is. It's a cycle. And that's how it should be. It shouldn't be one person discovers what's the best and nobody ever changes or tries to, you know, create a new strategy. This game is constantly a effort of people struggling over what's the best strategy, what's so good, what school should I pick, what school should I not pick. But the ultimate truth is that I think with Roshambo and Mastery, we'll see an extreme diversity of changes in people's deck strategies, among other things, as well as changes coming from the gear audit. But I think as long as we be patient and realize the fact that we have more time to criticize and healthily find a solution to the things that are a problem right now, I think this Jade meta will pass quicker than you guys realize. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys. See you. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill